Class, what is omission and its legal consequences in criminal law?
Omission in criminal law means not doing something you are legally required to do, and this can lead to getting in trouble with law.
Class, this is your assignment 1 based on animation video.
Hey, video editing.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Need to find out details.
So this is a discussion session where everyone is discussing their roles and splitting their tasks. What is criminal liability?
Does menstrual an activity involved in criminal liability of omission?
Of course it is. Actus reus is the legal term for the physical act or behavior that qualifies as crime. Menstrual is a legal term for the person, purpose or state of mind at time of committing a crime. Here it shows how does it involve in omission, which is actus reus, and menstrual, how does it involve. Here it shows how menstrual and actus reus to applying to omission with examples. This is the first article that I've choose, which is Criminal Liability for Omission, a brief summary and critique of the law in the United States.
Does this article suitable for my point?
Yes, he does the element of the topic. Explain to me the summarized version and the arguments.
Yeah, sure.
Looks fine for me. How about the next point?
This is the second one.
Thought of opinion based on Article 1.
The Article 2 is about the types of omission and their significance in criminal law. So, omissions means when a person is bound to do something but omits to do so. There are several types of criminal omissions such as follows. First is omission as actus reus. Secondly, familiar relationship, public service, creation of danger, the voluntarily postulate of duty. And then lastly is about contractual relationship. Omission as actus reus refers when a person can be held criminally liable for not doing something that they had a legal duty to perform. Familial relationship involves the legal recognition that certain individuals have specific responsibility towards their family members. And then public services refers to a situation where public officials or individuals in position of authority have specific legal duties and responsibilities. On the other hand, creation of danger involves situations where individual actions directly or indirectly lead to the creation of dangerous situation that puts at risk. The voluntary postulate duty refers to the situation where individual voluntarily assumes a duty or responsibility to care another person. And lastly, the contractual relationship is a case where contractual relationship may impose specific legal. So the example case of the most common one is related to familial relationship. So one of the cases is the topic of R.V. Gibbons and Proctor happened in 1918, where in this case a father and mother starved a 7-year-old daughter to kill her. As a result, she died in starvation due to her parents' neglect. So the significance and opinion is where the court decision reflects the importance of protecting vulnerable individuals such as children and holding those with the data accountable. And then in my opinion, it's established that the failure to act in certain circumstances can be treated as a form of.
My name is Ashwin and I'm going to talk about legal duty to act in omission. So what is legal duty to act? Generally, there must be a legal duty to act for an omission to be considered as a criminal offense. There are 4 types of legal duties. First is statutory duty, second is contractual duty, third is relationship duty, and fourth is voluntarily assuming duty. So what is statutory duty? For instance, a law might require parents to provide food, shelter, and care to their children. Second is, what is contractual duty? If a person has contractual obligation to act and fail to do so, they could be held criminally liable. Third is, what is relationship duty? For instance, a law might require parents to provide food, shelter, and care to their children. Fourth is, what is voluntarily assuming? If an individual voluntarily takes on the responsibility of caring for other people, they can be legally obligated to provide necessary care. That's all from me. Thank you.
Let's talk about the treatment of omission in criminal law. So let me explain you about this. An omission will only lead to a person being found guilty. So what is the crimes of omission? It's a failure to act may serve as the actor's rears of an offence where the defendant is placed under a statutory duty.
So is there any example of the imposed statute?
Yes, there's 3 sections, which is 176 and section 1. What is legal duty to act, which is normally common law offences. So now I'm looking about a certain situation where duty is recognized to exist, which is duty is contractual.
So is there any purposes of criminal liability?
Yes, it's a statute requires a person to act in a certain way, and a contract requires a person to act in a certain way.
So is there any medical related issue?
The fundamental principle was the sanctity of life, but respect for human dignity demanded that the quality of life was also considered.
So is there any opinion about this for research?
Yes, my opinion is omission in a criminal law is the failure to fulfill a legal duty.
Where did you find this?
Here, I found this data all from these references, which is 3 articles.
What is against the act, omission distinction? Here is the explanation. The act, omission distinction is a concept in ethics and law that differentiates between positive actions, doing something, and negative actions, not doing something. Critics of this distinction argue that it is not always morally or legally sufficient. I want more details about AOD. Let's Google it. Critics of the act, omission distinction argue that this division is not only unclear and artificial but can also result in skewed perceptions of moral and legal responsibility. However, it remains a fundamental concept in much of moral and legal philosophy, illustrating the complex nature of ethical decisions and legal frameworks. Explain to me about arguments and points. Yeah, sure. The text suggests that the AOD may not limit the boundaries of criminal law effectively as it prescribes. The remarkable conduct requirement, RCR, as proposed could limit these boundaries more efficiently. Omissions, like acts, can fulfill the role played by the conduct element in the structure of the criminal offense. So, unless there's a compelling reason to systematically differentiate between acts and omissions in criminalization theory, no such distinction should be made. An examination of the main reasons supporting the use of AOD in criminalization decisions shows that they are unconvincing. This unconvincing nature of the arguments in favor of AOD should influence us to reconsider its place in criminalization theory, regardless of whether we think the RCR is a worthy replacement for it. Give me your opinion. Sure, I will. The act, omission distinction, odd, in criminal law theory is dated and ineffectual. Its role in limiting the boundaries of criminal law is no longer as significant as before, and with growing concerns about overcriminalization, its limitations have become more impactful. The adoption of the remarkable conduct requirement, RCR, can drive the effectiveness of criminal law. As an alternative to AOD, RCR provides a more definitive framework for establishing criminal offenses and serves to limit the scope of criminal law more effectively. Omissions, just like acts, are capable of playing a crucial role in structuring a criminal offense. Unless a compelling argument is presented, there is no need for a systematic distinction between acts and omissions in criminalization theory. Last is references.